Welcome, fellow seekers of truth. Today, we embark on a transformative journey into the depths of the Prodigal Son's parable, a story that challenges societal norms and unveils the power of love and forgiveness. I invite you to join us in exploring this timeless narrative and its profound implications. But before we begin, I kindly ask for your support and encouragement. Please show your appreciation by giving this video a thumbs up, sharing it with others, subscribing to our channel, and don't forget to hit that notification bell to stay updated with our upcoming content and comment below. Together, let us create a community of seekers, united in our quest for wisdom, truth, and compassion. So, without further ado, let us embark on a quest for deeper understanding and profound transformation. In ancient Jewish customs, there was a practice called Kezazah, a solemn ceremony that involved cutting off individuals from their community as a repercussion for their actions. This act of disassociation left transgressors isolated and ostracized, marked by shame and abandonment. In the context of the parable of the prodigal son found in Luke chapter 15, verses 11 to 32, the story depicts a younger son who asks his father for his inheritance before his father's death. The younger son then squanders his wealth in wild living and finds himself in a state of destitution. Eventually, he decides to return to his father, hoping to be accepted back as a servant. Let us consider the son's actions. First, he asked for his share of his father's wealth. This meant he wished his father were dead, as inheritance is only transferable upon the death of the benefactor. Second, he took his share of the family's wealth and wasted it in a foreign land. Thirdly, he led a riotous and licentious living. All three acts were gross violations of Jewish laws and traditions. The son typifies the average self-centered individual who indulges in fleshy desires without restraint and is deserving of the righteous judgment of God. Perhaps the greatest and most important action the son took was coming to his senses and repenting of his sins. This singular act was what led to his returning home to a loving father's forgiving embrace. If he had not repented and returned, he would never have known his father had forgiven him. The father's response is extraordinary, going against the very fabric of justice and judgment. Instead of severing ties with his wayward son who wished him dead and wasted the family wealth through a riotous lifestyle, the father runs to embrace and forgive him. This act of forgiveness and reconciliation defies justice and societal norms and demonstrates the boundless love and grace of a compassionate father. Now let us consider the father's actions as he dispenses mercy instead of justice. His first action was leaving his house and seat of honor, where he was to wait in stoic and emotionless silence while the Kezazah ceremony plays out at the city gate. It is the mother who is expected to run to the gate to plead for her son, usually to no avail. But instead of sitting aloof at home like a god in retributive judgment, the father gets up and leaves his seat. Secondly, the father runs to his son. Men in Jewish society are required not to run, but to walk with dignity and honor. To run means you have to expose your legs, and in Jewish culture, this was considered taboo. Altars in the Old Testament were built without steps for this very reason, and men were required to wear long robes to cover their legs. Men were expected to be stoic and emotionless as it pertains to matters of the law. If a man's legs were not to be exposed when standing before Jehovah's altar, no other reason was to be accepted. It was therefore unimaginable for the father to hitch up his robes, expose his legs, and run to a wayward son. His running to his son symbolizes the fervency of his love and the urgency with which he attends to the matter. This radical act of love demands our attention and urges us to reflect on its profound implications. Motivated by an all-encompassing love, the father willingly embraces the shame and penalties paralleled only with those of the Kezazah, the severance that awaited his beloved child. The prodigal son's transgressions were undeniable. He had squandered his inheritance in a land of moral decay, betraying the covenant that bound the Jewish people to their divine purpose. In Jewish tradition, wealth held sacred significance. It represented a covenant demanding unwavering loyalty and fidelity to the community. To remove wealth from its rightful place, to carry it into the realm of the heathens, was an act of desecration, a betrayal of the highest order. Such a transgression invited the full weight of the Kezazah, severing all ties and leaving the transgressor bereft of belonging. In this act of self-sacrifice, we witness echoes of divine grace. The Father, embodying the redemptive work of God, bears the shame that a patriarch could scarcely fathom. With his legs exposed and his heart filled with love, he shields his son from the judgment that awaited him, choosing to run to him outside the city gate before he gets into the city where a merciless judgment awaits. It reflects the sacrificial love demonstrated by Jesus Christ, who bore the shame and punishment of humanity's sins upon his own shoulders on the cross, outside the city gate at Calvary. What a parallel! The story of the prodigal son invites us to contemplate the boundless love, unwavering mercy, and resolute forgiveness that flow from the heart of God. It challenges believers of every era to emulate the Father's example, to extend grace and compassion to those who have strayed. It encourages us to transcend societal norms, cultural expectations, and religious boundaries, opening our hearts to the transformative power of God's love. Let us, therefore, embrace the audacity of love, the power of forgiveness. Let us set aside judgment and exclusion. Like the Father in this parable, let us run with unbridled love towards those who have wandered astray. In doing so, we become vessels of God's love, witnesses to his redemptive power, and embodiments of the divine purpose for which we are called. May this profound story ignite a fire within us, a fire that burns away prejudice and condemnation. Let us extend a hand of reconciliation, offering hope, restoration, and belonging to all who seek it. For in the radiant light of love, we can reshape our communities, creating a world where grace triumphs over judgment and where prodigals find their way back home. As our transformative journey comes to a close, I want to thank you for watching this video. Your support and encouragement mean a lot to us and are essential in spreading the messages of love, acceptance, and forgiveness that we have discovered today. If you found this video insightful and inspiring, please give it a thumbs up, share it with others who may find value in it, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell to never miss an enlightening discussion. Remember to also comment below. Thank you for joining us on this journey, and until next time, may your path be guided by the light of compassion and truth.